Hello and welcome back to Roll the Bones. We have returned once again. My name is Rob and I am joined as ever by my wonderful players Mike, Matt and Dom. And I will ask them the immortal question. The question I always ask: what happened previously on Knights of the Apocalypse?
A big fight.
Elaborate.
Those actually. Elaborate.
Things and
There were undead
there
dogs.
were undogs.
And dogs. And wolf-like
Cultists.
dogs. They were pretty gnarly.
Yeah, coming at us through windows, through doors,
And a not quite unconscious Ollum.
pretending to be unconscious.
It took a little while, but we annihilated that fight, actually. Not in our usual style, where we sort of lose to begin with and then win it back. We sort of thrashed them.
There was
I think it went really well.
a bit of a panic at the start for a couple of rounds, but then we picked up gear very quickly, which was good.
We made an example of them. We questioned them. We found out that there's something going on beneath the city, and that this whole thing is being orchestrated by... I don't remember exactly what they called him. The
Bloodfather.
Fugue-ism, and it was being orchestrated by the Bloodfather. Yes, who we just found it was another name for
Derek Redhaven.
Redhaven. Pretty gnarly. And we found out that there was something going on beneath the city. That the Fugue Prism was there. There was construction of some sort going on beneath the city that we found out.
Yeah, in the
Beneath one of the temples, specifically.
Well, we found out the entrance was beneath one of the temples, but we don't know how big or small the construction is beneath the city generally. We weren't really given much of an idea.
Just to
Olam
add-
had an idea about it, but... Sorry.
because we've got to say the cult turned out to be the Lightbreakers, who have been mentioned in previous campaigns. Also the TBK,
Yes.
Curse of the Lightbreakers.
Yes.
No, Curse of the Legacy. Oh, I can't remember. Curse Broker.
Kingdom of the Curse Broker.
I say Curse of the something broker.
Curse of the King Broker.
We beat them. We found out what we needed to find out, and then we, in sort of questioning Olam, made an example of them. We were a bit cruel, maybe.
Bogram took it personally, didn't he?
Yeah, he didn't like that this was happening around his family, and he really was worried about Olam being a threat to his family, so he needed him to understand this will not go well for you if you're against me.
And then, in a rare moment, the strangers decided not to rest. We just thought, let's just keep going.
It'll be fine, they thought. It can't be that bad.
We go wrong.
Yeah, what's the worst that could happen?
I mean, it didn't go that badly. We just
could have.
very quickly changed our minds.
I think one member of the party in particular got very lucky. Very lucky. And it wasn't me.
Crazy lucky, I'd say, with the amount
Yeah,
of...
320s.
the amount of 20s on display, my goodness.
Yeah, 320s in a row. But
Yeah,
you know
actually,
what?
we only got to scroll up a tiny bit at the side there, I've just realised, and there they are, the three back-to-back 20s during his escape. Phenomenal luck.
In terms of our current level up, that has massively swayed a couple of my choices in terms of new stances and maneuvers.
Have you taken the lucky feat?
No,
The lucky bastard feat.
Yeah.
I have not taken the lucky bastard feat.
Jammy git feat. Yeah, we encountered. So we went to the place where we discovered under the temple was the entrance to this construction. We don't even know really what it was, and we just found a chamber. We went down a long, long tunnel, and we found a chamber that was raised above like liquid. What was the liquid, guys? I can't remember.
Greeny
It wasn't
sewage.
like, it was like sewagey horribleness. And there was a clear bag of loot at the back of the room.
And a chorus of screaming and horror and cries and yells, and that seemed to manifest into, I think you called it, Rob, a miasma of faces and death.
Pretty much.
Or something along those lines.
Miasma.
I don't think any of us actually figured out exactly what it was.
You did not. No. Yeah.
But it was an undead miasma. Yeah.
It immediately sapped your charisma. I remember that.
Yeah.
A lot.
Like a mother
yes,
trucker.
A lot. It took me down by 6 points of charisma.
If that had hit me, I would be in a coma right about now.
An uncharismatic coma. You would have been awake, but no one would. He wouldn't have been charismatic enough to actually
Catatonic.
interact with anyone.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that's pretty much the first thing that Bogram is going to be doing, is trying to find a way to heal those points back up.
Yeah, he needs them.
One day at a time. But
Yeah, I've got no restoration potions, but
no.
Where you two decided, I'm going to get out of here, the thought that went into Silaster's mind was perhaps that loot at the back may have something to do with the light breakers.
Hey, do you know what? It's not that I didn't think it. It's just that I didn't think it was worth it. I
will say, when we
I've been
started
closer
the
to
fight,
death in the last few sessions so many times.
I did think at the start of that encounter, I can probably get there and back without sweating. Halfway through that encounter, I was in too deep. I was like, oh dear, no.
It's too late.
It's too late. I've gone this
really
far.
was.
I have to commit. But
Yeah.
the luck. Oh
Ansel
my
had a
God,
go
I
at
don't think I've
attacking
ever had that luck.
before he ran, and even it
Nothing.
just didn't work. And he went, "Nope, I'm out." Ansel and Bogram were out. We were all right. We weren't really in any massive danger because we were running from the offset. But then Silaster had his squeaky bum moment that was super squeaky.
But yeah, epic to say the least. 3 criticals in a row. But we all got out of there with the bag of loot. We went back to Graves and Co. We emptied and searched the bag of loot, which we will discover what that is in a bit. And then there was a knock at the door. And who would it be but Swiftstone?
Old Swifty Stoner boy.
The Scot dwarf.
All dwarves are Scottish.
Absolutely.
True.
It's a well-known fact.
Even
We have
Droskor in a
to
bad
lean
way.
into this,
He was Mottish.
He was Mottish.
He was Mottish. And speaking of, we will be dealing with that loot at the beginning of the session. I am going to post it into your shared loot page, but please don't open it yet because I'd obviously like it to be a surprise. But I also want to close this page because I want to close as many pages as I possibly can due to the gnawing paranoia that I feel when streaming currently. So we will get to that in a moment. We've also have the characters level up. The characters reach that special stage in their lives where their bodies begin to change and they begin to start feeling different things.
Hair starts growing in unusual places.
Yeah, exactly. And powers begin to distribute themselves evenly amongst them, which we will talk about when they come up, I'm sure. But we do need to roll health, which is something we've taken to do on the stream.
We do.
So let us start from the start then. Let's go the other way for a change. We'll start with Ansel. Do you want to begin your HP roll? We re-roll 1s and 2s.
I'd love to. That's not bad at all.
That is not bad at all. That is near max. Fantastic work. Great to see. So add that on. Next we'll go Bogram Graves, aka Obsidian.
That's okay. I'm not
That's
upset about
pretty
it.
good.
I'm seeing a
Just
pattern
above
appearing
average.
here.
It is just above average. That's very, very nice.
That means you're going to roll a couple of ones, I reckon.
I think I'm going to
Yeah.
roll a 3 with my +3 and also get 6.
Oh
Let's
no,
see.
that wouldn't be good at all.
No, it would not. Hope not. Close. I'll take it.
Nice. Okay. And yeah, we will obviously probably discuss your other bits from your level ups at another time. But let us now return back to the night of the 13th day of reaping, where the strangers, as you rightly said, had narrowly escaped a deathly power within the depths of the city. And as you had emptied this bag of loot that Silasta risked life and limb for, there was a knock on the door, and that's right, you were reunited with Swiftstone. Swiftstone had introduced or reintroduced himself and said that he will be with you presently. He has a number of things that he wishes to do before he fully speaks with you. So he disappears out into the darkness once again to check a few things. Though you note that there is a rather alert disposition to the dwarf as he comes back and forth out of the house, looking over his shoulder every now and then, and as he disappears into the dark once again, saying that he'll be back very shortly, you can look at the loot, because it would be a good idea for us to talk about what you had pulled out of the bag first of all, and then we will get back to Swiftstone.
What's in the bag?
What's in the bag? So, a
well-known,
number of
quote.
things come out of the bag, and for those who didn't catch the end of last session, we didn't actually record it in the end, did we? We didn't stream it. We did it off the stream. But anyway, so the first roll, I believe we went Mike, Matt,
Did it for
Dom,
fun.
but I could be wrong. The first thing that was rolled was an oil of bless weapon. So
Lovely
that
stuff.
means
Good to have against undead, I guess.
exactly. So this weapon is treated as having a +1 enhancement bonus for the purpose of bypassing the damage reduction of evil creatures or striking evil incorporeal creatures. Which was the first roll we
Useful
made
for
at
you
the end of the
Romulan, so.
session, and obviously you had just fought something that you had worked out was incorporeal.
Can you dip your hands in oil?
If they function as magic weapons, you can use oils on them, I think.
No.
That's a great question, actually. Do your fists count as magic
How
weapons,
many-
like a monk, Silaster?
Only if I'm in one stance
Oh.
or doing one type of maneuver. Like typical unarmed, no. I have to do very specific things to harm incorporeal. So I guess the
No,
oil
that's
was
not
no
the
good
question
for me.
I
I asked. My
don't
question
know
was,
if you pop
do
into your
your-
stance first, then dip your hands in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Do your hands always count as magic
Never really
weapons?
considered oils on hands.
Not always.
Lethal weapons, yes. Magic weapons, no.
But do they always count as weapons for the purposes of being able to use an oil? Would you be able to use an oil on your hands if it's a magical oil? Would it imbue?
Put it in the same way could like a wolf put oil on their teeth. for biting.
Well, there's
physically,
magic
yes.
fang, isn't there? There is actually an oil of magic fang. Which means you would require magic fang, the oil of magic fang, rather than specifically for right. I don't know.
We'll come back to it.
Oil for you, Ansel. There we go. Nice and simple.
Enjoy. Treat yourself.
I'll drink it.
There is also
No. Not that kind of oil. You're supposed to cook with it. Fry your weapon in it.
There is also a daylight pellet that can be thrown up to 50 feet.
Oh.
And when it lands, it shatters and creates illumination equivalent to the daylight spell for the duration of 10 rounds.
Now, does daylight, the spell, actually cast sunlight, or does it just cast light?
No, because there is a spell that just casts light. Daylight casts sunlight.
Light from the day. Good to know.
Okay.
I think actually the spell description for daylight says what it would do to light weakened enemies, whatever, vampires and stuff.
Next is Masterwork Studded Leather Armor. Whether that's any use, you pull a full set of armor out of the bag.
Does it look like a gimp suit at first glance?
Maybe. Yeah. I guess it probably
Because
would.
if it does,
I'm interested.
I don't know if anyone can wear that or.
it suits my aesthetic.
Yeah. Can anyone wear that?
I'm not sure what type of armor is considered.
Light. And no, I can't
Is
wear
it light?
any armor.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's lights. Yeah.
If it's light, I could wear it.
So yeah, Masterwork. You can look up the stats for a Masterwork Studded Leather Armor. There is an elixir
check as to what I'm
of
actually
hiding, which is pretty good. It is when a character drinking this liquid gains an intuitive ability to hide, a plus 10 competence bonus on hide checks for 1 hour. Which is also pretty spot on for a few things we've got coming up potentially, which is rather fortuitous. I can assure you, this is exact. I've written down the numbers as well to prove that I didn't botch this. Like there are some rolls that you made that are so fortuitous, given the situation in the campaign at the moment. It's pretty wild.
We trust you.
I have definitely written down the numbers to prove it. There's also an elixir of vision. Drinking this elixir grants the imbiber the ability to notice acute details with great accuracy, plus 10 competence bonus on search checks for 1 hour. Okay, there's also the Scroll of Tongues, which grants the creature touched the ability to speak and understand the language of any intelligent creature. Which again is rather useful.
Are any of us able to use that?
I may, depending on what level it is.
And so
Scroll of Tongues, or just the spell Tongues.
It's not on my spell list, so I don't think I would be able to.
Now, staying in this vein, you pull forth from the bag a gleaming-looking pearl. This is a pearl of speech. And when you place a pearl of speech upon your tongue as a standard action, it is absorbed into your mouth until you speak the proper command word to release it. While absorbed, the pearl grants you the ability to speak and understand a specific language, such as Dwarven or Draconic. Each pearl is created for a specific language, and you can only have one pearl of speech active at a time. In addition, while the pearl is active, it can be activated to produce a command effect once per day. Will DC 11 negates. Again, just as a point, I posted this into your group thing, but so you don't have to feel like you have to quickly write this down. But there we are. So that's quite interesting. We will learn what language that is, I think, when someone tries it. Because
And what do we know? Oh, right, yeah.
Then there's a scroll of dimensional anchor.
Interesting.
Okay. Ooh.
Then a lesser clasp of energy protection. So this is a crystal of energy protection that protects against a specific form of energy: acid, cold, electricity, fire, or sonic. This augment crystal grants resistance 10 to a designated energy type. Once the crystal has prevented a total of 50 points of energy damage, it becomes inert until the following day. So
Are you sure? Are you sure that's the right one?
What, lesser?
That just that doesn't sound like the spell dimensional anchor. I'm probably getting confused, but
No, I'm onto something else now. This is lesser clasp of energy protection.
That or it cut off.
yeah, dimensional.
Am I cutting out then?
Gotcha.
Oh, I didn't hear that. Sorry. I thought you were still on the dimensional anchor. I was confused.
Just then, I don't think you had
maybe
Just
for
then,
me.
yeah.
But... yeah, I didn't hear the clasp.
Yeah, this is a lesser clasp of energy protection. Again, all in the dock.
Cool.
Then there's an oil of greater magic weapon +2. Then a wand of knock with 10 charges. Then a set of braces of armor +1.
Handy.
Now we're going to get into some other ones that I think are particularly wild. We have braces of great collision. Which do the following. Braces of great collision allow you to deliver particularly crushing attacks with bludgeoning weapons. When you score a successful critical hit with a bludgeoning melee weapon, you can activate the braces to deal an extra 2d6 points of damage with that attack, or 3d6 points of damage if you wield the weapon with 2 hands. You activate the braces before you roll the damage for the critical hit, and they function 2 times per day. There was a Tome of Worldly Memory, which is similar to what you have uncovered before, whereby you read it for a short period of time, and after doing that, one of your skills increases. This one, however, didn't actually say what's knowledge. It's a knowledge check, so you can choose a knowledge check effectively, and after studying that book for 1 minute, you gain a +5 competence bonus on a single knowledge check. So it's a one-use thing. You each read it for a minute and get +5 on a knowledge check. So choose a knowledge, and you can add 5 ranks to it once you've read that book. So that's pretty good.
Permanently or just to one
Permanently.
check, like a single use bit?
No, it's
Oh,
permanent.
okay.
It's a permanent increase, +5 to a single knowledge, but it has to be a knowledge check. It can't be. It's not any skill. It's a knowledge. So knowledge.
And how many
religion.
times can it be used? Can we all use it?
Yeah, you can all use it the once.
Or can only one of us use it?
It could be used once.
Wow.
Per individual, and then that's it.
We already had one that was for knowledge arcana. Presumably, we can't use it again for the same.
That's a really good question. Actually, it doesn't actually say anything like that. So if it doesn't say it, then
To be fair, knowledge religion could be quite handy.
at the moment, you're getting quite a lot of asks for knowledge religion, given that you're dealing with a lot of undead. But I'll allow you to choose. I don't mind you doubling up. It doesn't say you can't in the rules of the item, so I'm gonna say go for it. And if it's a problem, then well, it won't be a problem. It'll be fine. So anyway, that is the Tome of Worldly Memory that you recovered. Then you got the Braces of Quick Strike. When you activate Braces of Quick Strike, you can make one extra attack with any weapon you are holding if you already made a full attack on this turn. So basically, if you're doing a full round attack, you can decide to activate the Braces of Quick Strike and get an extra attack, plus any modifiers appropriate to the situation. The effect is not cumulative with any other effect that grants you an extra attack. So if you were hasted, for example, it wouldn't stack onto that or anything like that. And this functions once a day. Okay.
Gotcha.
Then there's a scry shroud. You get this nondescript grey cloak that seems to absorb light and sound, and whilst wearing this scry shroud, you gain a +5 confidence bonus on saves against divination spells. Additionally, if you are moving through a magical area that is like scryed upon or has divination spells on it, you can activate that cloak and become invisible for 10 rounds.
Pretty cool.
You find this particular set of gloves that appear to be made from this strange blue metal that's adorned with glowing faint blue runes. These gloves are caked with layers of frost and ice. While wearing these gloves, you can create a ray of frost at will. And in addition, 3 times per day, you can imbue any melee weapon held in your hand with the frost property for 5 rounds.
Pretty cool.
So 3 times per day, you can just imbue your attacks with frost damage for 5 rounds. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, well, there are 2 things actually. The last thing appears to be a tabard, the kind of ornate piece of clothing that you would wear over armor. This is the tabard of the Great Crusade. And it's something that neither of you are going to wear because you need to be a divine caster to be able to use it. But because of its association with uncommon valor and amazing healing power, a tabard of the Great Crusade is a welcome sight at any scene of armed conflict. And when you wear one of these garments over armor, you and any ally within 20 feet gains a +1 morale bonus on saving throws. You also get a damage reduction 5 against evil whilst wearing it. And it is inscribed with the power of worship of St. Cuthbert of the Cudgel. And you can give me a knowledge religion check on it if you wish.
19.
I will just do a straight roll.
Same.
A 4.
18.
Okay, so yeah, you none of you sadly know an awful lot about this tabard. But actually, I realise I've just typed the law and copied the law into your document, so I'll just say that the 19 was a success, as it was a DC 20, so you're only one off. Why not? I'll just tell you. Only
I hadn't
7
read it. I'd seen that there was a DC 20 on it.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
really
yeah.
hadn't
I
read
just
it.
realised I put that in there with it. Oh well.
No.
No. I'll explain. So, yeah, in that case, in the recesses of your mind, Bogram, you reckon that you've heard that only 7 of these tabars were known to exist, originally made for an elite order of warrior healers in service of Saint Cuthbert, and you know that this one could very well have been worn by Onar, the Cane of Cuthbert.
The cane.
Nifty. It bears a sort of a vague. I could maybe make use of it because I am technically a divine spellcaster.
Oh yeah, so you are.
I'm a divine and an arcane spellcaster, but
I think
Sacrificing
you need
a spell to get its power.
I think you need to be able to worship the deity in it. I think we will look into it.
I would imagine probably, and also to gain the relic power. I don't know how do you establish a divine connection. I don't know. Don't know how you would do that.
That's a very good point.
So I mean,
to use the relic power, you must worship Saint Cuthbert. So if you fancy like having a dip into your belief system, by all means, you can do that.
Yeah, but you're not going to get that until you're either 8th level or until you're 15th level, and you either have a feat or a spell slot you can sacrifice.
Oh, an 8th level divine spell slots to activate it. Yes. Well,
However, I'm pretty certain that maybe clerics or worshippers of Saint Cuthbert, like the Watch, might be quite keen to buy it off us.
The Watch might very well be interested in acquiring that from you.
Leverage.
Certainly, yeah. The last thing is a tablet of Pelor, which is a tablet of golden stone carved with a rising sun and a midday sun, and upon it there is an inscription: "Read this well, and you shall measure the means to unveil a sacred treasure. Behold the dial when the sun rises at dawn. A cunning disguise will be fully withdrawn. Behold the dial when the sun shines at noon. Then behold a path to a powerful boon."
That is exciting.
You have been divvying the loot for some time, and Swiftstone will re-emerge back into the room and say, "You'll have to forgive
whilst
me."
we were doing that, couldn't we just say that we each read that thing? So we can just add that onto our character sheet and not...
It's a few hours reading, though, isn't it?
No, it's like a minute.
Is it? I thought it was 1 minute.
Yeah, it's a minute.
Oh.
It's a pamphlet. It's a pamphlet on religion. Do you praise Pelor?
Always.
So Swiftstone will come back into the room and he will look at the trinkets upon the table with like a curious eye and say, "You'll have to forgive me. I was ensuring I was not followed."
Very understandable.
Who would be following you? Just out of curiosity.
As I said to you before, there are many spies of the Dominion within the Free Kingdoms. You have to be careful.
Fair enough. We've just apparently recently got our own sworn enemies in the city, so I was wondering if they lined up in some way.
Hang on. Salastor will walk to the corner of this room. Does this bird cage mean anything to you? You acquired it, and it
What a question.
sang a song about joining the Dominion.
He will look at the cage with with narrowed eyes and take a step forward and say, "Now that is curious. There have been rumours of such devices, but I've never seen one myself."
Devices?
What does it do?
Well, it's a mass communication device. It's used for long-distance messaging. Magical messaging. Can't be easily intercepted.
And who would have the counterpart?
Well, judging from the look of it, I'd say it belonged to the Guild of the Songbirds.
Interesting.
They are a bardic order.
We met some of those, didn't we, in what's the name of the city we were in, or the town, the port town we were in?
Bright Harbour. No.
Bright Harbour.
Right.
Yeah?
No.
We were in Bright
Yes, Bright Harbour.
Yeah. Didn't we met the songbird? Didn't we meet them in Bright Harbour?
We didn't meet them, but we
They
walked past them.
Yeah,
They were certainly there.
Spreading words of what happened at the gate.
Yeah. And how does one use such a device? Could we listen into their communication?
Well, when a new communication arrives, then certainly. I'm not an expert in these things, but as I understand it, they use that to, shall we say, convey the news and messages of modern times. It would mean that one of their order would have to send out a message of some kind, and it would be received by anyone with one of these cages. It's where the magical birds land, so they say. You look inside the cage and you see that that sort of spectral songbird is kind of asleep on its perch, not moving.
So it's like a faster version of a rook.
Aye, very much so. Can deliver news very quickly as well.
Perhaps we should keep it nearby, and then we'll hear all of the news of the land before anyone else.
You say it spoke of the Dominion.
Yes, what did it say?
Verbatim, not sure, but basically it was a song about joining the Dominion.
That is troubling. There have been rumours to suggest that the songbirds have been bought. The trouble with bards is that everyone takes them for granted that in every town, every tavern, every town square, each preaching their message and each influencing the emotions of those they sing to, for their power is not to be sniffed at. would be a powerful weapon if you wanted to influence the minds of many. But that's Neosphere, isn't it?
Perhaps something to look into.
Very good.
Anyway, what are we doing? It's been too long. Long time no see. It's good to see you're alive. I heard mixed messages coming from the Arrowhead, what with Savage Doom and all. From what I hear, things got wrapped up pretty swiftly.
Aspects of it was wrapped up quickly. Other aspects remain at large.
What do you mean? The last as I recall, you were going after some strange entity that was their leader. Am I not mistaken? Pharaoh Wolf?
Yes, that would be the aspect that remains at large. He was more powerful than we anticipated.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's a
Still a big
vampire.
problem. Vampire. Nosferatu.
He's a what now?
A very powerful undead creature.
I know what a
Shit-sucking
vampire is. I was just wondering if my hearing had gone.
Oh no.
Yeah, we've discovered lots, actually, that he is a vampire and that he currently has a plan ongoing in this city that is currently under attack by some awful undead force. Sorry.
The wolves are back!
The wolves at the door.
It's Father Wolf!
He's there. My oh my, well.
It's a much smaller wolf than the others.
Yes.
A little wolf. Yeah. Father Terrier.
My, well, you've certainly been busy, and it is very, very good to see that you were you held up your end of the bargain. Was there anything else you learned when you went to the?
And did you hold up your end?
I did, and I shall speak of that presently. But for now, you were going to the convent when last that we spoke. That is where you met this vampire, then, is it?
One of the places.
Yeah, we went to the convent. We wish we hadn't. Yeah, the convent was awful. A horrible place. Just a place of death. Place of absolute death.
It went very
We got
poorly.
our asses handed to us. It really did. We got our asses handed to us. We got out, though. We got away.
Yeah, you look healthy enough.
I think we're quite lucky that the enemy didn't want to full on kill us at the time. He had some other plan for us and we managed to escape, because if he wanted to kill us, we'd be very dead.
Yes, he was going to transport us to the Hollow Descent, wasn't he?
Yes.
The Hollow Descent, my goodness me. It's a lot of information to take
We're
in.
not sure why.
Oh yeah, we've been around.
So a lot's gone on since session 9 or whatever it was.
Yes, if you come across Derek Redhaven, I should say, not Derek.
Derek Redhaven, I spoke with him myself. He refused to speak to me. Do you remember?
Probably for the best.
My word.
He refused to speak to you.
Yeah, I remember when I came to speak with you, I said that there was a man named Derek who was an expert in archaeology and ancient ruins and the like, but he was refusing to speak with me.
Oh yeah, you told us about him.
Aye. I'm sorry, I
He
wish
didn't
I-
refuse to speak to us.
I wish I could have
It
told
was
you
a more
he was.
physical conversation than we anticipated.
I wish I could have told you he was a vampire, but I'm afraid that caught me a little bit unawares. My word. But he's lived in ages. Well, I guess that makes sense.
It's all a bit crazy. Well, yeah. he's quite old. But don't you worry about it. We're going to do him in.
We're going to cheese him.
We just need to figure out. We will do him in. We will. We just need to figure out how to get past his undead bodyguard of some sort beneath the city that is a problem that damn near killed Silaster, actually, yesterday.
What's that all about?
Yes.
Sorry, say again.
What do you mean? What happened there? What monster?
We're not really
horrific.
sure what it was.
Yeah, some sort of incorporeal mass of spirits formed one creature. It was. I mean, I'm intrigued because I want to know how to do it.
It was something about miasma.
It. Yeah, it really was. It was bonkers.
Oh my word.
And as I say, it nearly killed Silaster, but he outskilled it. It was spectacular. Jaw on the floor, spectacular.
Although we didn't see it. He just told us how good it was.
Your shadow, Shade, saw it.
Yeah, he can't really talk though, so...
Yeah.
He did a little mime, but I think he may have lost something in the retelling.
Well, I was looking behind me while we were running, whatever. We saw some of it. It was too good to have not been witnessed.
Now, I believe you said that you were going via the Valley of the Prophet before you were coming to the city. Did you manage to do that as well?
We did.
Yeah, sort of.
We went into the valley. That was an interesting time. We learned lots of little things and made a couple of new allies.
Well, that is very interesting. Perhaps you'll be able to tell me about it one day, but time is of the essence. You asked me if I held up my part of the bargain. Well,
yeah, what's been happening with you?
I was successful in transporting the Dominion agent to the walls here, and he has been successfully imprisoned here, and we have learned of a great deal of the Dominion's plans, particularly when it comes to investigating sites of ancient history, like the Gate.
And what did you learn?
Well, there are a number of areas across Main Realm that the Dominion are particularly interested in. They happen to be equidistant to each other on different points of the compass. It's quite fascinating.
Would they be one north, one south, one east, and one west?
Aye, that's right. That's a good guess.
Presumably, can we roll out our map? And I think we've got the points, haven't we?
Yeah, you have the points taken from the map from within the convent, actually. Yeah. Well, he'll look at the map and go, "Hey, that's exactly it." The one to the south is a little confusing though, because
Interesting.
that would be waterlogged. And he points to the south where the Rushlocker lies, which is a massive body of water, effectively where the sea kind of comes into main realm, and divides the land of Feyreld from Harrow.
Underwater, you say?
Aye. Underwater.
Looks like we need to go to a potion shop.
We have time.
An underwater level.
Get us some potions of water breathing and some flippers.
But that would be very strange. I can't imagine any structure that would exist below the waves. No report of any civilization being there. Mirthfolk, anything like that?
I mean, I don't know. I would agree, but then we've seen some stuff of late that's made me certainly question anything, everything. So maybe there's a city down there, led by the Dominion merfolk.
Merbears. Maybe they're merbears.
Merbears.
Which way round?
Oh dear.
Well, the top half is obviously a bear. This bottom half is a fish.
Not the top half being a fish.
Well, the bottom half would have to be
being
like a shark, though.
I'm not sure that'd be any use, if I'm honest.
I think so. Yeah.
Just the back legs of a bear, swimming through the water.
I hear they're not fast swimmers, but as it goes,
but it could also
anyway.
function really well on land.
Aye.
Well, that's true.
Anyway, nightmare fuel aside, that is curious. Well, perhaps there was land there once when it was built.
There have been some seismic changes to main realm across the years, haven't there?
Aye.
I heard of a city in the sky plunging
Aye, yeah.
to the ground.
Yes, many great changes.
Stop bringing it up.
It's the course of history. Great failure of civilization.
It hurts my spirit, and I don't know why.
Well, as I said, we
Some
learned...
sort of past life memory hurts when you bring that up.
We learned many great things, and we have much more information from the Dominion's efforts in the Three Kingdoms than we ever would have had before, and that is entirely down to you convincing me to take the bastard in. So we owe you thanks for that as well. And I did offer you a reward for going to the convent in my place, so I will arrange reward to be delivered. Now I know you've made it to the city safe and sound.
Well, thanks very much.
Very kind.
Indeed.
We in the Court of Whispers...
well, I suppose the big question is...
Go ahead.
Sorry, continue. I was going to say the big question is what next? What happens next?
Well, that's just the thing. You might have noticed that there's been a little bit of an upheaval lately within the city.
Well, there's a lot going on within the city, actually. A lot.
And a lot under
Some
the
stuff you
city.
might not even know about.
So we have a wealth of information within the Court of Whisperers, being the spies of the Three Kingdoms, as it were. We operate within the Three Kingdoms as stealthily as we can, and we pick up information here and there. And a little bird told me that the three of you had a rather important appointment within the castle of Valdemar.
Mainly one of us.
Aye.
Who do you report to in Valdenor as the Court of Whispers?
So I don't report to anyone that's based in Valdenor, but I use something similar to this device here, and he points to the birdcage to report to the spy master of the Court of Whispers.
The Spy Master. Such a cool title. Must be awesome to be a Spy Master. Like what?
We don't really have like a set or established base. It is, we find, much more secretive to remain on the move. Though there are areas that we do frequent more than others, so perhaps that's hypocritical. But the Spy Master resides in Eldarium, the center of the realm. I was very lucky to be taken in when I was young.
Do they make a habit of finding orphans and waifs?
Nay, I'm not an orphan, but I may as well be as far as I'm concerned, but that is a story from another time. I was asking you about your little trip to the castle. Rather fortuitous, no?
We had an appointment.
A royal appointment.
Uh-huh. Well, we have a royal appointment. This has come to your attention for a reason, obviously. Like,
Aye, well,
speak freely.
It was certainly it came to my attention long before it came to yours. I'll say Obsidian, for it was I that made that appointment.
I see. You have wonderful handwriting. Especially for a dwarf. That's impressive.
That
Dwarf
is
that can write in perfect
massive
cursive, like.
generalization, if I don't may say. There are artisans and craftsfolk in every race.
I would thought of dwarves taking the pencil more in the fist.
I don't use crayons, Obsidian, alright?
I apologise. I'm sorry. It was in bad taste, that joke. That was in bad taste.
Yeah, particularly as it is thanks to me that you have this royal duty, for it is the Court of Whispers that put your name in that will, Obsidian. I have known you have returned to the city a good number of days now. It's just that sadly this is just the first time that I've had to actually drop by and say hello.
Well, it's very kind of you to come. Perhaps we should have offered you
why?
tea or beer.
You got anything stronger?
Obsidian.
Of course. I mean, absolutely. Embalming fluid on the way.
Oh.
What? Oh, fine. I'll get the whiskey. Obsidian will go into the kitchen and off the top shelf get the stash. Actually, he probably keeps it in his kind of study work area, away from the kids. So he'll come back in with a very nice bottle of whiskey.
Yeah,
Pour some out.
Yeah, you bring. It's the same bottle I imagine you would have poured that glass for Olam when he came round, because he asked for something a bit stronger too. It's somewhat of a habit in your house, it seems, to ask for alcohol from you.
Yeah. People come to the house with all the children in it and want booze.
Yeah, all the booze in Graves and Co.
Totally normal. Yeah, so we'll share a drink, and yeah, just you can fill me in. Why did you put my name? What good is it to you? What use is it?
So it has come to my attention that there has been a vast amount of necromantic power that has been rising within the city. And I thought, who best to investigate this than the only person I know who can use necromancy?
Well, yeah,
It's a good
we
thought.
have indeed been investigating.
And I knew it couldn't have been you because it was happening in the city long before you arrived, so...
I mean,
Very wise.
definitely not me. I tried to keep this away from home.
Yes, you'll have to forgive me for knocking on your premises. Would you like to continue this conversation elsewhere, or are you happy where you are?
No, I think we're all right here.
Very well.
I trust. I trust in your abilities to not have been followed.
I am particularly difficult to follow, but it is not impossible. We will... Hopefully that's the case. We shall learn if that's not very soon, I imagine. If it won't. Now, you ask what's next. I would have you continue doing what you're doing.
Swiftstone,
Aye.
do you have connections, or are you able to tell me yourself the layout of the castle? I need to investigate some matters, but I don't know where to go.
He'll sort of shoot you a look and say, "Is this regarding the death of the king?"
Matters regarding this necromantic power, its generalized investigation.
Yeah, well, this is what I've been meaning to talk to you about. I mean, you've got yourself some cover as you'll be able to move in and out of the castle. But in terms of the layout of the place, I can arrange for that to be provided to you. After all we've been through, I imagine I can trust you.
That would be useful.
I'll
I
say
want
it
to
done.
walk into the barracks.
Aye. Aye, well, you wouldn't want to do that. But yeah, you ask what's next. Well, like I say, continue the investigation. With your abilities, Obsidian, I would have hoped you would have been able to ascertain more about the king's demise. For if you ask me and a few others about the castle, it is more than a little suspicious. Old man, Dectus was old, yes, but still full of vigor. His death seems a little suspicious.
I would absolutely love to be able to investigate the king's death a little further. The problem is his body is under constant guard from all directions. It's very difficult to conduct a proper investigation with that, a thorough investigation with that situation. Yeah. Obviously, I would very much like to be able to question the king himself. But that's virtually impossible with the guards constantly watching him. So at the minute, we're just trying to figure out a way to get the king's body.
You notice it doesn't take
But I have some thoughts.
It doesn't take an insight check to show that, when you say about questioning the king himself, there's sort of a flicker of not disdain, but like concern at you discussing this. That even a hardened agent of the Court of Whispers, like when discussing the like necromancy, particularly like being conducted on the body of the king, like is clearly like has an effect on Swiftstone. But this is clearly what he's kind of got in mind when speaking to you. So yeah, he sort of nods and says, I hold a certain amount of sway when it comes to the security of the castle. I am a trusted face within the court of Aldenon. I can see it that you are given the privacy that you need. It may not be for very long, but I can do that for you.
That would be, yeah, pretty spectacular. My next plan was to steal the king's body.
Oh,
and replace
really?
it with a body that looked just like it. Yeah. I was going. I had a whole like weekend at Bernie's.
Walking a corpse in, walking a different corpse out.
Yeah. Well,
Sunglasses.
Absolutely.
I mean, don't let me step on your toes, Bokrum. Obsidian, if you would like to do
No,
that.
No. If you can do it easy. If you could do it easier than that, it would be amazing.
Oh my God,
I kind of convoluted plan.
I really wish that that wasn't the case now, because that sounds absolutely hysterical. But Swiftstone does. Swiftstone does have the ability to do that, it seems. But like he's promised, like while he will be able to do it, it won't be particularly long. How long will you need, and when will you want to do this?
Literally, we need to know. So I need to know before I do anything. We would obviously need to know exactly what questions we're going to ask. Exactly what questions we're going to ask beforehand. I'm only thinking on the spot.
If we could time it.
It will literally only last. The spell will only last for 9 minutes. So less than that.
If we could wait until maybe these layouts and plans were provided, because once you're done with the king, we won't be able to get that easy access again. And I feel I may be able to find something.
Oh, well, I mean, sure. But I mean, I won't be done with the king, as in done with my duty, my mortician's duty, until the funeral. I will be done with the investigation on the king once this is done, because I'm hoping he'll know how he died.
Aye, well, you just say when and I'll have it arranged then.
Well, I mean, I think that's down. Silaster, if you want to do that at the same time.
It's just a convenient inn.
If you have a plan, as in we go in all together, I will question the king whilst, the guards are distracted. So if the guards are going to be distracted anyway, so that I can do that, they're going to be distracted for you to disappear from our company as well. So it's probably a good time for you to vanish and do whatever you're doing, which don't want to know. Whatever that is. Kind of a little bit. Kind of want to know. But you don't have to tell me.
Oh, part of it I did say. I want to see if the first voice in the arcane have any information on what's going on.
Ah, I see.
Ha! But you'll find that difficult to ascertain. They both keep their cards very close to their chest.
There'll be some things I can find.
So you want to search the whole castle?
Just their quarters and their
You want to search their
quarters, where they work. I don't need to go to all the rooms.
You'll be better off
As long as
searching
you
the
know where you're
council
looking.
tower at Silaster. That is where they conduct all of their work.
And the council tower it is.
We can certainly create some sort of distraction while you're doing that.
Nothing more distracting than necromancy.
No. What if Ansel and I were both attacked by undead monsters
Oh,
and had to fight them? It's a good distraction. And we needed help from the arcane and whatever.
as long as they couldn't tell that the undead monsters were attached
Yes,
to
the
you.
puppeteer was there.
I mean, I don't see how they could necessarily. It's not impossible, but it would be difficult. If it was a summoned undead, once it was killed, they disappear. So it's not like a thing they could investigate.
That being said, Swiftstone, how much time would you need for both plans and arrangements?
If I were to begin arranging that this evening for the rest of the evening, although it is very late, I should be able to have that arranged for tomorrow. But if that's too soon...
I can make it work.
Maybe the day after.
No problem for me. Right now, of course, I need some sort of healing.
Maybe the day after tomorrow, the overmorrow.
Ah, okay, very well. Day after tomorrow then. It'll be arranged for then.
Okay.
I will meet you here, and I will join you on the way to the castle. There's no reason for them not to know that we know each other. But I will state that they do not know that it was the Court of Whispers, in fact, that put your name in that will. So maybe it is better that we do keep our distance from each other. What do you reckon?
Wouldn't want anybody alerted to the fact you're interested in the event, as it were.
Aye. Well, they've already...
Especially as when I go to the castle, it's very much Bogram, not Gideon. So I would rather keep distance, certainly.
Aye. Well, the Spymaster's already warned me not to be too involved in the matters of the king's funeral. But I've also been trusted to use my own discretion, and that I shall.
So, day after tomorrow.
Day after tomorrow, then. I shall have it arranged. Is there any work or any procedure that you can cite as being the reason that they must provide this privacy? Perhaps some indignity that the body of the king must go through?
I mean, usually there's all sorts you need to do to a naked
There's
body, cutting up and...
Yeah, absolutely. He'll need to be naked. His inner organs will need to be removed. He'll need to be properly embalmed. There's lots of indignity that soldiers may find incredibly distasteful.
Very well, then I shall have it proclaimed from the walls that
Yeah.
none shall look upon the naked flesh of the dead king. Something along those lines.
Barring his mortician. I don't want to be blindfolded while I'm doing it.
And a as a security measure, they plucked his eyes from his skull.
Yeah, I mean, you're good, but you're not that good.
Yeah. From that day forth, Bogram was blinded. Oh, damn it.
Very well then, that's what we'll do.
Yeah, cool.
Is there anything else you'd ask before I set off and I begin arranging that?
Just anything that'd be useful to Silas, I suppose, or any suspicions you have about the death of the king.
Oh, you're asking that of him?
Yeah.
Well, like I said, the king was old, but he had a vitality to him. And a sudden, rapid decline in his health, well, it just didn't seem correct. As I understand it, everyone was caught by surprise. And yet, most of the castle, in fact, every important member of the castle has been not questioned, but interviewed regarding the last days of the king, and all within a zone of truth. So even if people had been involved, then they would have known about it. So
So either an outside party, or they just don't remember being part of it.
oh, I suppose that could work. And then a dark expression like covers her say, so that could work. Aye. As for your rewards then, as I mentioned, I'm still indebted to you for going to the convent in my stead, so I can either offer you a vast sum of gold, or I can arrange for something a little more personalised from the discretion of the Court of Whispers. If you wish for something a little bit more personalised, though, then that would take some time for it to arrive. It is entirely up to you. AKA money or magic item.
Well, a periapt of wisdom would be delightful.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure you like the deck of many things, and the rod of the seven wizards as well, eh? Well, we'll look into it. A periapt of wisdom, my goodness. It's like in the storybooks.
I saw one on a shop.
I saw. It looked nice. I thought I'd look fabulous in it.
Yeah, I think we need. This is it. All that is an issue, isn't it? We need to know to what extent can we ask?
Within the reason, I suppose. Within
scroll
the
of
reason of
wish.
that. A periapt of wisdom will be fine. I'm sure I can manage it. A periapt of wisdom will be fine. Something along those lines. You can have a think about it if you like. It's not like I'm going anywhere for the meantime.
Just a +2.
I would need to think about it, I think.
Alright, well in that case, have a think about it and we'll get back to it.
There is a thing that I'm after, but it is...
Well, money doesn't always have to be it's not always a problem for the Court of Whispers, shall we say. We deal in other things. One thing before I go, this is a sending stone, and he hands you the sending stone to one of you. I have its twin. If you need to contact me, while I'm in the city, I should be able to get in contact. All right.
Awesome.
Very good.
Nifty.
Right. Well, it was very good to see you again. I'm glad you're alive. I'm sorry about sending you to investigate a vampire.
That's okay. Wasn't your fault. You didn't know.
No, I didn't, but hey, it's a
And
story
we
for
survived, so...
the story for the grandkids, eh?
Indeed.
I'll see if I can trudge up any information about this Hollow Descent you mentioned as well. It is a place of great superstition, you might say. Now I can see why.
Yes, it seems like a particularly unpleasant place.
Aye.
It was awful. It was really gnarly. We had help as well, so we wouldn't have made it otherwise.
That's the convent, mate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Very well. I'll speak to you in not tomorrow, but the day after.
Excellent. We'll see you then, Swiftstone.
And with that, he'll give a nod and he'll wrap his cloak about himself and he'll vanish out the door. It's very late at
All
night.
of these new items.
Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead. No, go.
I was just going to say, all of these new magic items we've found reminds me that we still haven't found a use for the item with the 3 rings.
Oh yeah, the 3 ring thing.
Maybe we should try.
Well,
Yeah.
we've got all day tomorrow.
Maybe not inside.
Yeah, maybe not inside. Maybe we'll go to a park.
Go to your grave room.
Let's go to the graveyard.
Perfect.
We'll go, yeah, the Necro Cave.
To the Necro Cave.
Let's go to the Necro Cave and see if we can figure out what that 3 ring thing is. But I need to go to the market first thing tomorrow morning and see if I can find some sort of restoration.
So I'll still pick up the elixir of vision.
Yep.
Just say, if you don't mind, I think I'll keep hold of this.
I don't mind as far as any of it is concerned, really. I don't think any of it is any more relevant than anything else.
Yeah, all useful bits, but not necessarily any.
Yeah, like they're useful bits that will come up as and when, like the Scry Shroud. That might be very useful at some point in the future, but I think we'll know of when we need to use it. When it comes to things like wands, I can't use it anyway, so unless Ansel can. There's some stuff here that can be sold.
Well, we'll worry about that. Maybe out of session.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But otherwise, I mean, you know, take what you need. I'm not going to claim any of it at the moment. None of it jumps out at me. It's something I need to wear immediately.
In terms of wands, actually, I don't actually recall. Do you need to be able to cast a spell to use a wand, or can I think anyone can use a wand, can't they? As long as they have magic device, yeah.
Use magic
So
magic
you need
device.
use magic device, or if the spell is on your spell list, even if you can't yet cast it, say it's a much higher level spell and you can't do it yet, but it is on your spell list, you can just do it.
So Ansel might be able to use the wand then, in that case, right?
Yeah, Ansel can use one.
If at some point in the future he can cast with knock or whatever the specific spell is, then yes. If the scroll or the wand was a spell that was on my list, then I could cast with it. But then
Okay, good to know.
Ansel can trick scrolls and wands into
activating
working for him, so
Yes,
it's fine.
I love that.
see.
I like that way of thinking.
Yeah, I just need some sort of restoration because I am 6 points down on my main.
Okay.
stat.
Right. Mike, do you still have the link for that sheet at all by any hand off the top of your have access to it at all? That would be really handy.
Which sheet? Sorry.
The potions and the shopping table that you came up with, that'd be really handy.
I will get hold of that now. I don't have the direct link, but I'll find it. Perks of a new laptop.
Was it in Google Docs or was it in
It is, yeah, I've got the link now. I'll post it in Messenger.
Yes, please, thank you. I'm doing it on my phone to limit the amount that's going through the old dust bucket. Here we are. Oh, we lost the Dom.
I don't think that restoration
Will work on
is
you.
a potion. I don't think
Lesser restoration is
Lesser restoration is a potion.
lesser restoration is. But I think that potions only go up to level 3. I think level 3. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think there's a restoration potion. So it might be that I have to go to a church.
You have to bluff your way.
How much is a potion?
With loads of charisma.
Which would be a lot easier if I wasn't 6 points down on charisma.
How much is a potion
a lot easier.
of lesser restoration?
A potion of lesser restoration is 300.
Okay, we are in a metropolis, so
But that's not a guarantee. It's only 1d3.
Yeah, so we're in a metropolis, so that means you still have an 80% chance to find one in a shop. So
Yeah, I mean, I think I need more than one.
yeah, well, we'll check to see how many you can find once you roll that. Then, so we'll say then in that case that you're able to.
So if I sleep for one night, did I get 1 point back by the morning?
Yes, you'll have 1 point from resting.
Right. Okay.
The sun will rise on a new day in Valdenor. It is the 14th day of reaping, and
Can I? Sorry. No, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
It was the lag. I was going to say I wanted to wake up Werner forcefully and force him back into some training again. That was it.
So the sun rises on your training session. Werner, we'll see if he improves at all. Do you just want to roll just a standard attack, please, Silaster?
Yeah.
And he will do the same. Is it pretty good?
Critical success.
Which I'm going to say, because it's your
Knock
intention.
him the fuck out.
Your intention is to train him, but it is a brutal training session will occur, but it is also very effective. So that will double the effectiveness of Werner's training today. You can see that he comes back in after the training, he's got scuffs on his knees and elbows, but you can definitely see that he's learning from you, Silaster. He is less just manically, wildly throwing attacks at you and actually starting to listen to what you're saying and taking your lessons. So that's a great point to make. And as the sun rises, it is you don't really see the sun. It is a grey day with drizzle in the air. Sort of like a damp mood just hangs over the city. How do you spend the day?
Well, Bugger wants to go shopping.
So going
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it doesn't want to go shopping. Just wants to see if I can find two. I think 2 scrolls of lesser restoration would do it. I hope.
Is it
Unless I
scrolls or
rolled
potions?
very badly when using them. But then potions, sorry, potions, because I can't use the scroll. Potions of lesser restoration because they cure 1d4 points, and I'm 5 points down. So I think 2, hopefully,
Okay, so
would do it.
first of all, roll a d100. You need to get 80 or 80 or less. Anything above 80 will mean that you don't find any. So roll low.
Ooh,
Perfect. That's great.
I got a 61.
So you're looking for more than one. So let's say because that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Roll a d8 for me, please, to see how many would be available for you to buy, given we're in a metropolis. Wow! So you encounter that there is a holy person devoutly worshipping Pelor that you find on the edge of the path of faith, the district of worship, who is blessing and anointing ointments and oils and restoration potions as well. Light of Pelor be upon you, even on a grey day like this. The elderly man says to you, to Bogram, how many would you gladly donate for? As you can see, the Church of Pelor is under a vast amount of refurbishment.
2 to start with. Hopefully will fix me.
2, very well.
Also, we'd struggle to afford too much more.
So that'll be 600 then in that case.
Yes. I have taken it off my current amount already.
Fantastic.
And now I shall roll 2d4 as I just quaff them. Oh. Okay, so now I'm only down
you
by
get one
2.
back from sleeping one more night.
I will actually, yes. I probably wouldn't need any more, but I have got 2 of these, so
That's a D20.
skadoosh.
That's a D20.
That's a D20, not skadoosh. To take it back, I was going to say, how did I get 5? I only rolled
That would have been impressive.
because I'm cheating.
Oh.
Well, there we go. I'm down by 1, but so I need that extra point the following day. Oh, hang on. Do I? Am I on an odd number anyway? Yeah, I am.
One more night's rest.
So I'm actually back up to my amount anyway.
Okay, that's good.
My modifier is as it was for today because I'm on an odd number, but I want that other point back anyway.
For sure. Now,
Cool.
is there anything else that you would like to do today?
And that's it. I don't need anything else. I don't want to spend any more money or time.
Okay. Silasta, Ansel, anything you do on this day?
No, I just want to investigate the rings.
Yeah, aside from the rings, Silasta is just mentally preparing ideas for tomorrow.
In that case, then,
Just as a point, Rob, I've never mentioned this, and I've just re-looked it up because I didn't know what it did. But I have a ring that I've not been using, so I will cast 3 first-level spells into it.
oh yes,
Wow.
The ring of spell storing that I haven't been using. So if I cast them into it, they're in there now. So even when I get my spells back tomorrow, they'll still be in there, so I can use them at any point.
great.
When they're cast, they need to be recast into it, obviously. But yeah, so 3 lots of Ray of Enfeeblement into the
Fantastic.
ring.
Raven Feebleman, good choice.
Just because I've never used it and I really should be using it. So. But yeah, otherwise, as you are.
So you will likely be doing this as you enter the broken crypt. It is where you have arranged to meet now that Bogram has done his shopping for the day. Hopefully it loads okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's loaded okay.
Okay, just not for me.
Bodies are
Still full of ghouls.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
That's okay. The bodies will be useful to me at some point in the future. We'll just pile them in the corner. We'll get some nice, wall coverings. What we need is like a T-Rex in the corner.
Yeah, and a big penny and
Yeah.
And over here, I think over this way, we could have like some sort of armor stands with various versions of my plane.
All of our old outfits.
yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. I'm in love with the idea. We will actually customize this area to your specification in the future. So yeah, we'll clear the bodies another time. We'll just say then that you're able to sort of like move them into a pile somewhere else. In fact, we'll begin now. The big boy can be dragged to where that hole is. Like, the smell is unbelievable, I will point out.
Ew.
I stuff the nose of my mask with potpourri every morning, so it's fine.
Oh yes, of course.
Part
yes.
of the job.
Yes.
Part of the job, mate.
an accurate use of that mask, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So, you find yourselves gathered here then, and Ansel, then, as you've shown the interest, are you the one that draws this the rings out before? Just a reminder that this is a large iron ring joined with 3 chains joined to it that dangle from it, and each of those chains has a separate ring on it, like a hand hold almost.
Yes. Can I try and work out what it does again, or has that ship sailed?
No, it's been a long time. I think you'll be able to do a check of some kind. What are you going to do with that?
I guess my best check would be use magic device.
Yeah.
If I was able to.
Yeah, certainly. By all means, you can use magic device to determine if you've gleaned anything during this time.
Excellent.
Still not an easy check, I will add.
24.
Wow, yeah. So you remember upon your initial investigations, you were uncovering items and experiencing powers that were all to do with the many planes of existence, which to your mind at least has always been theoretical until recently with the the knowledge of the Githyanki passing through a door from one plane of existence to another. That sort of belly structure is becoming part of your everyday vernacular now, the lot of you. It appears to have some effect on the plane that it is on if you were to activate it. With the 24, it would in some way make a change to the world that you're currently in a localized area.
Interesting. Very interesting. Well, we might as well find out. We're in a safe environment.
We're in the safest environment possible for what we're doing, I think. Yeah, we might as well.
There's no little widows walking around leaving flowers at graves, is there?
I think we probably would have checked outside for any visitors and cleared them away. Closed for refurbishment.
Off you go.
Get out.
Okay.
I just have
Come and see him tomorrow.
Bugger off, Bill. He'll be here tomorrow.
It's just a really funny image of just the three of you peering out from the darkness of this broken into crypt, like looking around to see if anyone's watching. Oh dear. It is funny. Right. Anyway, I'm trying to find it because it's been so long since it was in here. Here we are. I found it. So what are you doing? You can see that there are the 3 handholds that you estimate with that use magic device roll, as you'd worked out before, that it would require like an even amount of pull from each of those to activate this rather strange device.
What a coinky dink. There's 3 of us.
Yeah, I think we've got to all pull together, lads.
Sorry. Glad we're christening the
Oh no.
I'm so sorry.
Oh dear. Anyway, we're all going to give it a yank together.
We all pull together.
Okay, you all give it a pull together, and as you do, something truly remarkable happens. And that is where we're going to take a very short break. So, for those watching, I do apologise about the quality of the stream. We are just having to deal with it currently and get by. I promise things will improve in the future. But for the time being, thanks for sticking with us. Hopefully it's okay. It's hard to tell on the stream, but yeah, we'll work it out one day. And we'll be right back. And we have returned to the second recorded half of the session. And where we left it, the strangers had finally looked upon the magic device that has laid in their possession for some time. And they have finally activated it. I'd like each of you to
Definitely wasn't because we kept it.
I'd like each of you, please, to make a reflex saving throw.
Oh, shit.
Is this a spell or spell-like ability?
It is a spell or spell-like ability, and it is going to be a fairly giant one. Okay.
25.
28.
Bloody hell.
1. Jesus.
Walk from standstill.
What?
Okay, so...
Shit. God damn it. Not cool.
So...
25. 28.
That sounded like a lot, didn't it?
That sounded like quite a lot of dice being...
Maybe there's just loads of little tiny D3s. D4s.
Obsidian, you take 24 points of force damage. Ansel, Silaster, you take half
Mother
of that,
of pearl.
so that's 12. As you are
Actually-
thrown...
I take nothing. My evasion class feature for the first time kicks in.
Hooray! Excellent stuff. So in that case, Silaster, you are able to somehow evade this. Ansel, you take half the damage but don't get knocked over. Bogram, sadly, you take the full amount of the damage and are thrown back onto the ground. As there is a blast of force that just rips through the area that you're standing in. The statues that flank this area sort of like rock and dust falls from them, and then yeah, that's it. The chain appears to glow multicolored for a moment. It glows red and then blue, green, yellow, indigo, white, and black, and then it just like stops.
I thought you were going to break into a rendition of Josephine's Technicolor Dreamcoat. Can I look at it with magical sight to see if I can sort of see what's happening?
Yeah, certainly. So
with black magic.
yeah, you can absolutely look at that, and there appears you don't have to roll for that, do you? That's just looking at it. Yeah. So
I think you potentially do later, but
that's fine.
yeah, go on.
You look at it, and it's almost like it's playing with the forces of fate. This thing, there appears to be some kind of mystical change in the local area about you. Really, the power of this item is transferred to the three of you.
Interesting.
Also, pain.
Also, I'm very glad we didn't do this in your house, Pogram.
Me too. I'm just trying to catch my breath. Winded.
And can I look at Silaster with magic vision? You said it's transferred into us. Perhaps I can see some evidence.
Yeah, there certainly is. I'm trying to think of. Does that allow you to tell what school of magic it is?
If I look at it for long enough, I can't remember if I have to do a knowledge arcana or not.
That's fine. I'll say that you will be able to. I just
No, you just need to concentrate for 3 rounds, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. So it would appear that it's some kind of alteration magic that is upon the three of you now. But its effects lie dormant. It's like, for want of a better word, it's like the powers of fate have sort of like turned their gaze upon you, as it were. That's how you sort of like. That's what you get the vibe of from doing that.
Very interesting.
But until said powers like awaken, it's uncertain what that means. But it currently lies dormant within the three of you now.
Well, I suppose we'll have to wait and see what has occurred. Very curious, though. Is it a one-time thing, I wonder?
I don't know.
Wait. We found a tuning fork as well, didn't we?
We did. You want to try? Can I take a look at the tuning fork before we do it?
Sure. Go ahead. I'm just going to move over
Yeah, you can look at the tuning fork.
behind this pillar.
The tuning
Whilst
fork.
I just touch myself.
Yes, you gradually touch yourself and hopefully heal yourself a little bit. And as you do that, yes, you are able to look at the tuning fork.
Gradually touch myself and feel a bit better.
The tuning fork doesn't appear to have the same latent magical property as what you now sense on yourself and your comrades, Ansel. Though looking at it, it would be as if you were looking at a component for a spell using that vision, I would say. The same if you were looking at other spell components and that sort of thing.
A spell component.
Yeah, you don't, from that glance, cursory glance, you don't believe that these two things are connected, but yeah, you could be wrong. Who knows?
And it's not a device to activate, it's part of a spell.
It is, yeah. You would use this to activate a
Or
spell
ritual
of some
or
kind.
something.
Yeah, whatever this tuning fork is. Yeah.
For another time, then perhaps. Well, we've got whatever's going on here. Is there anything else you want to do today?
No. Go and rest.
No.
No, I don't think so. Unless you want to go and try that thing again.
What, pull the chain again? Or pull the...
No, that monster.
Oh, God, no.
Again, no.
No, we need a cleric. Just take a shed load of heal. Heal. And do
Yeah. Maybe it would, or maybe it'd charisma drain us into the ground.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan
No.
of that. I was not a fan of that. No.
I say we rest. Tomorrow will be.
Yeah, let's go. There must be some sort of show on.
Gonna go to a show.
Let's go see a play. Let's just go and take in a play, right?
Well, you're the resident. You can tell us what.
There must be something on. We can just go, take in a play, eat junk food, and just chill for the day. Have a day off.
Yeah, why not? Busy day tomorrow. Busy day yesterday.
You would know, Bogram, from having lived here for a long time, that there would be showmen and street performers and fire breathers and jugglers that would perform near the Waywell, which is sort of in the one of the part of the central district of the city. So you could definitely go there and take in some entertainment.
Yeah, a few drinks. Let's go do it.
We've had very little chance to let our hair down.
Is there going to be a lot of people?
Oh, I should hope so.
I'm socially awkward in real life. I don't drink.
Yeah, this is supposed to be a fantasy.
Escapism, right? I will. I'll go and get Werner,
I bring Werner up.
and I'm going to bring him with us.
Fair enough. Only Werner.
Okay, so you go back to Graves and Co. and you'll find
Aileen's far too young for a night out drinking.
You'll find Werner sulking at the table, the kitchen table. He's got a quill in his hand and a pot of ink and some parchment. You can see that he's currently doing his letters as instructed by your dear wife, Naya.
Right. I thought he was writing some sort of running away note. I hate you, I'm never coming back.
Go back, Dad, I hate you.
Oh, you're not my real dad.
So
I wish I was adopted.
I've got news for you.
what do you want as you come in? As you come in to your own house, Bogram.
He's such a little shit, isn't he?
He actually is. I like him less and less as this goes on. I'm like,
The trade
like
to fight
that's
as
what
well.
you were like as a child, Rob.
It's an exact emulation as what I was like as a child. Yes, exactly. It's
Just a move.
oh God.
Gonna hate you.
He says, "What do you want?
Ugh.
What do you want?" He asks you, Bogrim.
I mean, I don't really want anything. Just your company.
Where are you going?
We are going to what did you call it, Rob? The where?
The Waywell.
The Waywell. We're going to spend the evening in the Waywell, having a boys' night.
Let's.
So the Waywell, just to explain, it is a giant fountain in the heart of the city, around which there are a number of taverns and street performers and the like. So, it's a big fountain with a big pillar in the middle of it. So you wouldn't necessarily spend your evening in it, but near it for sure.
No, not in the Waywell, but like the area,
Yes.
of the Waywell. Like we're going up the town.
Yeah.
We're going for a night out. Just us boys. Silastus says you've been doing well.
He hit me in the nose earlier.
Well, maybe you deserved it.
Wow, way to victim blame.
Okay. What did you learn from that?
I am actually learning a fair bit from him. It's good to know how to fight.
It is. It really is. I've actually learned a bit from Silastus as well. He's a good man to have at your side. I would have you train with Ansel, but that I don't think you're ready for that.
Yeah, you'll only get physically hurt.
Silastus would teach you to throw kicks and punches and stuff like that. Ansel would teach you to. I don't even know. Throw your very soul.
He confuses me. I don't understand him.
Ansel?
Yeah, he's strange.
I've come to realise that the best way to deal with that is to just not try to understand him. To just accept that he is. And that's the best way to be around Ansel, I think.
Okay, I'll come with you.
Yeah, good stuff. Excellent. Go and put on your best threads. That's what the kids call it.
He'll just look at you like completely gone out and say, okay.
Oh, cool.
Nobody calls him that anymore. Oh, so embarrassing.
So embarrassing! Like the chair scrapes as he like gets up and.
Oh god.
And
He's a proper little fun sponge, isn't he?
the fun sponge.
Is this why you left?
Don't tell him.
There were a number of factors. We'll leave it at that, I'm sure.
There were, yeah. I would say no. He is not the reason I left. Certainly not. No.
Okay. We'll then move our vision into the afternoon. The weather clears up a little bit, so that mercifully, the sky above is bright despite despite it being a little cold. The bitter of autumn at its height at this point, in the middle of the month of reaping, and because it's the end of the week, the city folk are out in their droves, and as predicted, there are street performers, fire breathers, and jugglers and knife swallowers, the lot. You can smell rich odours of street food and ales being poured and spilled onto the cobbles of the ground. You see the Waywell itself. I wish I had an image of it here. It is a rather splendid sight. It is a marker from an older time. You can give me a history or an arcana check on the Waywell.
Arcana, you say?
That was a 1 and then a 2.
Yeah.
It's getting better.
That's a 3 from me. 1, 2, 3.
29 on Arcana.
Hey! How do you know? How do you know more than me? I've lived here my whole life.
Wow, that is interesting. Bogram, you'll have heard the odd tale, but Ansel, this well very much resembles something you would hear about in the storybooks, and in the old tales whispered around campfires in the dead of night. The way this Waywell is not the only well that would be called that. In days gone by, a Waywell, supposedly, with a natural 20 on that roll, was actually a means of travelling great distances from one to another of its kind. Though, in this day and age, that is just chalked up to superstition. But you, with that roll, feel like you know better, and as you look at it, you see your own reflection in the water, and you just get like a very strong, resonant feeling from that well, like you yourself personally would be able to interact with it if you wanted, because of that. Like I say, because of that roll.
Excellent. I feel like Ansel would probably share this in a sort of a jovial sort of way. I don't know whether or not the others would believe that he could possibly know something so specific about anything in a city he's never been in and has shown very little knowledge about cities in general. But
If you know other cities, though, this exists in other cities. You must have learned of it somewhere else. You just know of its kind. I wonder where the other ones are, if it's a thing you can use.
yeah, I wonder where you could travel to.
Incredibly useful.
If we need to make a quick escape, could be ideal.
It'd be very, very useful. It depends, I mean, on where we need to go in the future for, the points and... Could be very
Yeah, there's
useful. Depends on the
no reason it couldn't be great distances. It wouldn't necessarily need to be in this area, even, I suppose.
As you say that, can each of you give me a spot check, please?
Ah, yes. That's one I'm very good at.
21.
Oh my god!
Second
what's wrong
natural
with my
20.
rolls? I got a 1, then a 2, then a 2. That's 3. I'm distracted by my son, clearly.
It's actually you sort of explaining that to the others. Was that spot check? Was that 21 for you, Silas, or was that from a previous thing?
Yeah.
That was just spot.
21.
I thought so. Yeah. So Ansel, you're explaining this to them, and you see this first. Silaster, you're pretty much like a beat behind him. You're explaining about how perhaps this could be useful for like a quick getaway, and there's like a burst of flame from like a fire breather's mouth, and like as the flames like distort the air in front of you, you see a number of silhouettes approaching through the crowd. Suddenly, there is a scream that goes up through the assembled masses as a blast of magical power detonates to the right of you. There is no surprise round because you're able to see this happening. But I will ask you to roll initiative.
Damn. In front of the boy?
22.
Oh, cultists. You want to bear in mind
I nearly got 3 in a row.
that Bogram is wearing, like, the leather overcoat and, like, his nicest... But he's not wearing the mask or anything. We'll try and keep this under wraps a little bit. Initiative. Sorry.
That's okay. I've got a few to do, so don't worry. So
What
Silas,
the hell?
Whoa!
I'll be going last. That's a 1, then a 2, then a 2, then a 1. You rolled 20.
Balancing out from last session.
Yeah, man,
Yeah.
this is your 3 20s in a row. Come back to bite me in the ass.
Hey, I got over 20 on my initiative. This is a rare thing.
This is so not cool. Not okay.
Okay, that's weird. That's why there's like 3 tracks playing at the same time. Not ideal. Okay. So, as you can see, these robed individuals are sweeping towards you through the crowd. And there is a blast of magical power that sends the crowd scattering, like the parting of the waves in A Tale of Yore, leaving a clear line of attack between you and they. As the cult of the Lightbreaker move against you, Silasty, you go first.
Right. Silaster will run forward.
Vroom.
This one here. I'm going to make a new maneuver called a bloodletting strike.
Oh.
So as I go to attack, where he's had a blade before, the shadow energy looks more like a cone, like a drill, as he goes to plunge it into the man's shoulder, hopefully
word.
lower. 30 to hit.
30 hits.
Excellent. Well, firstly, the damage he takes is... No, it's more because of my new feat. He takes 14 points of damage.
Whoa.
And then Can he make a fortitude save, DC 18?
Okay. No, he can't.
Nice, very nice.
He takes 4 constitution damage
Oh, oh God!
as this bloodletting strike goes through the man's chest, and as it does, it rips out part of like his muscles, his blood, and like blood is pouring from a physical hole that's now in his chest. As I punctured, and with that, I will drop
I put my fist through.
through the cultist, and then I drop into a stance, the Pearl of Black Doubt, as Silaster
What?
remembers home.
The
That's
cultist
it for now.
that you slammed just stands there. Blood pours from his mouth and from his nose from the strike that you inflicted upon him. He sways, barely alive, but alive he is. It is not they that act, but the 2 cloaked figures that stand either side of the cultists.
Just seen there's archers.
Yeah, well, that's just it, because you're sort of like in this crowded street, all of a sudden, you see 2 individuals just throw their cloaks back, and you realise that they're involved too. Vicious-looking bows in their hands, and first of all, an arrow shoots towards you, Ansel. What is... Oh, sorry, hang on a second. I need to do something very quickly. Yeah, that's fine. What's your armor class, please? Sorry, your flat-footed armor class, Ansel?
Well, flat-footed, it's 14.
That is a hit. And because you're flat-footed, that means that that single shot from the short bow, bam, slams between your ribs and counts as a sneak attack, doing 17 points of piercing damage to you.
Oh.
And
Crikey.
his friend on the opposite side is going to attempt to do exactly the same to Obsidian. Flat-footed armor class, please. Obsidian.
14.
Same. That's a hit.
14.
So, yep. And a hopefully devastating sneak attack. 1 less. 16 points of piercing damage slams into you, Bogram. As they catch you by surprise. Ansel, it's your turn.
I negate some of them.
Very well.
But ow.
Yeah, ow indeed. I've just noticed that the shade isn't...
Oh, of course he's
present.
not. Yeah, allow me, allow me.
I like both Ansel and Bogram for this fight to have 2 familiars each.
I don't think you can call his child a familiar, Michael.
Well,
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, how well have you trained him? Is he ready?
Yeah,
Is he ready,
is he going to
Lucan?
dive in?
hopefully not.
You're not ready.
Do you want to know? Well, you say that he's not ready, Obsidian, but his initiative is still before yours, so...
Low.
Yeah.
It didn't need to be said.
I'm desperately trying to fucking select the shade here, and he's not. He's actually like his name suggests. He's made of the stuff of shadows. It's hard to grab him. There we go. Hopefully, I'll be able to paste him now. Back we go to the Waywell. That's my bad, Dom. I should have put him in.
That's alright.
Okay, here he goes. There he is.
There he is. I'll sick him there. So his effect is on both of those two currently.
Okay, great.
And then I shall Eldritch Blast this one, because I feel like Silas could probably deal with the two next to him.
Okay,
so the sort of furthest left of the cultists.
Yeah, I see him. Okay, so that's cultist number 1. Gotcha. You're going to Eldritch Blast him. Fire away.
I am indeed. So on his touch,
yeah,
it's taken a long time to roll. 24 to hit on his touch.
Yeah, that's an easy hit. The Eldritch Blast streaks forth and slams into him.
So he takes 12 points of damage.
Bam!
And he needs to make a fortitude save of DC 19. He's at -2 because of the shade being upon him.
Oh, sorry, was that fortitude, did you say?
It was fortitude, yeah.
-2 for the shade. That's a failure.
Excellent. And then, just for funsies, I'll curse him as well. So he needs to do a will save, DC 18, and he's currently at -4 to saves.
Minus.
Oh no, he's -6 to saves. Sorry. No, -4. -4.
Yeah,
I've
two for shade, 2 for
Sorry.
second. Yeah, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a 2 on the die, so that's a negative number. Yeah, that's that. So he's
that's a bad miss.
pretty much.
So he's currently -4 to attacks, -6 to saves, -4 to checks, -4 to weapon damage, and -2 to AC, unless he leaves the shades area.
-2 to AC, right?
When he'll get some of that back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Amazing. Just a cacophony of horror descends upon that cultist as Ansel's power blossoms upon him. And
I think it's now... like, you know, in horror films where, like, it's from the perspective of the creature of, like, you see the person in the distance and it just, like, rushes towards them and the leaves are, like, sweeping out of the way. He's like,
you have effectively, like, we'll have to set it up so you have like the predator camera. Amazing work. But it is his turn, and he lingers on. He in horror is going to try his best to return fire. How's he going to do that, I wonder? He's going to go for your touch armor class, Ansel. What's your touch armor class?
My touch is a mere 12.
But he is at -4.
4.
Oh my word, he misses your touch. He puts out a hand, and there is a blast of like green caustic energy as acid launches towards you in an arrow-like manner, but it slams into the back of the Waywell behind you, and you see that the power of the thing kind of just like brushes it off in a way as you move out from that attack. Excellent work. It is the rest of them now. Okay, what is your... no, sorry, he's going to make a 5-foot step, this one here. What is your touch attack, please? Touch attack, what is your touch armor class, please, Silaster?
20.
The shade... no, he's sickened, isn't he? Yes, he's sickened.
The guy that just moved has only got the shade on him
Oh, it's just the
which
shade,
means
isn't it?
he's
So it's just...
only his saves and his AC are affected.
Saves and AC, gotcha. I will get the hang of the shade. That is going to be a hit on your touch, Silaster. Which means... you take 4 points of strength damage as a ray of enfeeblement racks you to the core.
That's Bogram's trick.
Yeah, well, listen, they are playing from Bogram's playbook, as it were, albeit a basic version of it. This one that has been absolutely, like, smashed by your power is going to... He's going to provoke an attack of opportunity off you, Silaster, the one in the middle.
I'll take it.
Yep.
23.
23 is a hit.
Oh, this is... Hang on. Yep. Need to redo the damage. That's 2 points of damage.
Wow.
Strength damage.
Yeah. How'd you kill him? With the constitution
Broke
damage.
him to death.
He was on 1. How'd you kill him?
I like to think he's bleeding out with a hole, and he thinks he's stepping back. But what he's actually doing is he's falling backwards, and Silaster just pokes him as he just then falls and drops.
No. Yeah, the logic behind that was your first attack was so devastating. He didn't have the control just to do a 5-foot step and then cast. He was trying to get away and then cast to his ruin. I see. This one here in the top is going to point a hand at you, Bogram. Can you give me a fortitude saving throw, please?
I can. Sleep, stun, paralysis, poison, disease. Any of those.
It is none of those.
I am going to use my thing.
Very good. Yes, I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
My headband of concentration, meaning I can use
conscious
concentration
effort,
instead of
yes.
fortitude.
Very good. Roll it up.
Because I've been rolling badly, which means that wouldn't have worked. But 22.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So you feel like there is like the sun is about to set upon this battle for a moment. You feel darkness ebbing at the corners of your vision, but then you shake your head and resist
Blindness on me.
as he tried to permanently blind you. You resist. And it is now Werner's turn, who will yell, "Dad, what are we going to do?" And now it's your turn.
Not my turn. Is it my turn?
It's your turn now, yes. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank God.
It is no good.
Let's see. Right. Which one just cast enfeeblement at me?
No, blindness.
That one.
He tried
Not
to blind
enfeeblement,
you. Yeah.
blindness.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
Gadoosh. So I'm going to step in front of the boy.
Boy.
I'm going to push him. I'll push him back. And I'm just going to reach out and point at this one here, muttering something in Infernal. Hang on one sec. There it is. Sorry. I have to double check on the save. Can he please do a will save DC 22?
That is a 20 on the die. That is a success. Sorry, mate. Everyone rolls.
Nothing happens apart from me wasting a top level spell.
Oh, no.
Oh my God.
Shit.
Ah, so it's something within him, like you begin this duel, he fires magic at you, you resist, you fire it back at him, and he shrugs it off as well. Lightbreaker and Obsidian locked in a battle of magics. We are back to the top of the round. Silasta, it's your turn.
Right. Nobody got to see the benefit of the Pearl blacked out there, and that's okay.
They didn't get a chance.
So Silasta, is going to switch to his assassin's stance.
Oh, okay.
And as everything in his vision turns black and white with little highlights and weaknesses popping in red, he will then use his cloak of deception to turn invisible. And then, as his standard action, he will throw a shadow garrote at this archer over here.
Gotcha, yeah. Okay.
So this is on his range touch.
It's touch, gotcha.
Possibly a critical.
Yeah.
Oh.
30.
That's a critical
Hello.
hit.
I've not had one of these in a long time.
So, as you fire out at him, I need you to roll a D100 as the power of the chain activates.
The power of the chain.
99.
I don't have it open. Damn. Okay. From memory, that is a fortitude saving throw.
For me.
For him. Would you like to do your critical damage, please, first of all?
I'd love to. Let me just check. It's brutal. That's 55 points of damage.
Holy shit sauce.
You kill him twice-fold. But also, the power of the chain activates at the same time. The fortitude save is failed, which means he is automatically decapitated by the critical hit.
I garrote his head off.
Just cheese wired his head off. Oh my god.
Apologise to your son, Bogram, for me.
Yeah, Werner's eyes are wide.
No! He needs to know!
The robed, roguish figure stands there, headless for a moment before toppling over, decapitated, utterly destroyed by that strike. As the power of the bonds of fate make themselves known.
Well,
Anything else on your turn, Silaster? I think that's pretty much it. Right? I don't think you can do anything else.
I can't move. That's it, but I am invisible, so...
Great. That was Silaster. That rogue is dead. The other one, in horror, sees that his compatriot has been slain. It's just going to fire an arrow towards you, Silaster. It's not... you're not flat-footed, so it's just going to be a standard attack. Armor class.
I am invisible.
Of course you are, so we can't see you. He'll just shoot at Ansel then. Armor class, Ansel.
16.
16 is a miss. Clearly horrified by the fate of his friend, has just put him off. The The attack as he rolls a 5 on the die. Pathetic. It is now your turn, Ansel. An arrow shoots over your shoulder. What do you do?
I'll move forward
Yeah.
to about here. Eyes on the rogue. But I'm going to blast the other cultist here. 16 on his touch.
16 on his touch is a hit.
So he suffers 12 points of damage and needs to do a Fortitude DC 19 or be sickened.
Just to double check, this is the cultist right next to the shade on the ferry on the left, right?
Yeah, this one here, yeah. Everybody's doing it now.
Yeah, everyone did it, sorry. That one. Right, I think I know which
that one there, yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's number 2, gotcha. He is unharmed, currently.
Cool, so he's taken 12 magic damage
Bam!
and now needs to do a Fortitude save. DC 19, he's at -2 because of the shade.
Because of the shade, yeah. That is a critical fail on the save. He is utterly horrified with the presence of the shade and your power. Roll it up.
And he's also sickened. And then I'll curse him as well, because I'm having fun with the curses. So DC 18 will save.
-2 still, yeah.
-4 now.
Oh, sorry, yes, second, yeah, and that's not enough. He is cursed.
So they're both the same now, currently,
Yeah.
for tracking purposes.
Oh my word.
1 and 2.
Anything else?
So as Ansel walks forward, he just throws out a hand towards the cultist, as he suffers a barrage of effects,
Oh my word.
horrifying and
Incredible.
but that's it for me. Yeah.
The cultist here can't see Silasser because he's invisible. In panic is going to do a 5-foot step to here. And he is going to... Ooh, what is he going to do? They're losing. It's time to crack out the big guns. Ansel, make a reflex saving throw for me, please. It is a magical effect.
Sure, I assume it's magic. Yeah.
Reflex DC 17.
25.
You will take half then. What is it like as you narrowly being avoiding? What is it like as you narrowly avoid, being eviscerated by this fireball that now only does half damage?
A fireball?
Fireball just shoots towards you.
They're definitely not the same class as me.
I think he probably
And they were like me. They're not like me.
he probably sort of he launches himself out of the way, but obviously did a fireball as an area effect, isn't it? So it's he only manages to not get directly hit and still takes a glancing blow, knocking him sideways.
You take 8 points of fire damage instead of the full 16 in that case. Then Ansel, as fire rips through the cobbles where it had exploded. They're not like you in every respect. You remember a fireball detonating directly on the three of you in Old Man Olam's home.
Yes, I had considered. I thought these ones might be slightly different, but no. Fine. Let's see what they can't do.
Well, let's find out, shall we? Because that was him. This one, really, really screwed over by the shade and by the curse, is going to can't see Ansel. No, sorry, he can't see Silas. He can see. He's got a close on Ansel. There, and is going to, with all of his negatives, and he still doesn't know he has to move out of the area of the shade to not be affected by it, because that would just be totally meta, so he's just going to move there. And he's going to go for your touch AC, which is, Ansel.
12.
He reaches out a desperate
He is at
hand.
-4 to his attack.
He is, exactly, yes. And it's bad on the die anyway. He reaches forward, and you see this terrible necromantic energy like swirl about his palm as he reaches out to grab onto you, but you avoid it. How do you avoid it as he reaches out to grab you?
I think, yeah, like he doesn't understand quite how the shade works. And actually, as he reaches out, the shade is attacking his shadow and just grabs his hand, and somehow there's a link between his shadow and his hand. And it just pulls it back slightly, and he doesn't quite manage to reach Ansel.
I love it. That's amazing. That was him. He's done for this one. This one puts out a hand, and you see a crackle of electricity enter his palm, and then it bursts forward. The line of electricity, well, it's a line, and you're standing directly in front of your son.
No.
Bogram, please make a reflex saving throw.
Of course, I'm standing directly in front of my son.
Yeah. Make a reflex saving throw.
If I don't reflex out of the way, can I take the brunt of it and protect the kid?
Unfortunately, the nature of the spell is that it will just pass through one target into another. Even if it hits you, that's the way it works.
Oh. I mean, that's particularly cruel.
Yeah. It is.
Right. I don't really know what to say, because I don't feel like he would reflex out of the way, because he wouldn't want to move out of the way and let it strike his kid.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really much you can do at that, I'm afraid. Like, it's just
I'll try and dodge to the side of it, I guess, and grab the kid. But I mean,
let me say this. Let me say. All right. We shall say then that if your reflex is successful,
Here you go. 17.
then you can help move him out of the way. Is what I was going to say. So that is a success. You can take the brunt of the damage in that case and move him out of the way, or you share the damage between him and your child, between you and your child.
No, I'll take all the damage then.
You take 28 points of electricity damage.
Oh, that would have destroyed a child.
Yep. You at the last second. Well, you tell me. What is it like? You literally have a second to react, Bogram. The blast of electricity erupts towards you and your
So I
child.
think the second to react is that he turns around in that second, and in doing so, he grabs the kid and shoves the kid off to the side, so that he's kind of in that square. That's why I take so my reflex is to move him out of the way of it,
Yeah.
rather than move me out of the way
Love
of
it.
it.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Which obviously you can't do with an adult, but because he's a kid.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You threw him on the ground.
Yeah, Werner hits the deck and gets like a front row seat as he watches the electricity just pass through you. Massively powerful blast of electricity just racks through your body as you take the full amount of damage. Ouch. And the cultist will scream, "Coward!" At you as he readies something else equally vicious. Werner is on the ground. It's his turn. he'll just shout, "Dad!" It's your turn.
Oh man, just out of my reach as well, as far as like getting to him. That's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do that. We'll move to there, and I'll just aim a finger out with a very like a super intense look in his eye. This time, we'll just mutter a phrase in Infernal and aim for his touch armor class.
Okay, touch armor class, roll it up.
I have been rolling like a bitch, so probably this will miss.
Like a bitch!
Come on! 17 on his touch armor class.
17 is a hit on his touch armor class. Roll it up, or whatever he needs to do.
Wicked. So he will take 3 negative levels. As I fire a beam of enervation, which saps him.
Okay. Bye all of his spells. Shit. 3 levels. Okay, fair enough. Yep, 3 levels of life experience ebb away as you make little of the man that stands before you in the cultist robe.
Steal his memories.
Anything else on your turn?
No.
We're back to the top of the round, and in the realms of the invisible, Silasta lurks. What do you do?
Well, it's only for one round as he reappears. The shade is incorporeal, isn't he?
Yeah, you can just go through him.
Perfect. Silaster's still in his assassin stance, so he'll just mosey to here. Seeing shadows engulf him. Ansel, what you see is through the shade is almost like a chop about to come down on the centre of the cultist's head from behind.
Judo chop.
Let's see what happens as I attempt to do a mountain hammer. A sneak attack mountain hammer.
Sneak attack mountain hammer, what?
Fucking hell.
25.
Yeah, easily.
He's pretty injured as well.
Yeah, he's pretty messed up, this guy. He's not doing well. Yeah, he's number 2. Yeah.
So this all bypasses any damage reduction.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
damage
all that
reduction.
damage reduction he has, yeah. Like his skin.
30 points of damage.
Yeah.
It bypasses his
God.
skin.
You bypass his existence, Silaster, as you absolutely annihilate him. What does it look like?
Oh, from Ansel's point of view, Ansel, you just see Silaster kind of reappear, but then he just vanishes, and then this hand just appears from the shadows behind the cultist and then just goes right through the man as this mountain hammer gets to about here, and his head just...
Oh my words. Brutality. It's that rogue. That rogue there. Interesting. He is going to... I guess he's just going to try and shoot you. It would make sense to do. So he's going to... he sees you appeared out of nowhere and just obliterate this guy out of instinct. He just aims and opens fire. Looses an arrow at your armor class, Silaster.
22.
A miss. Arrow flies straight over you. Other rogue is dead. Ansel, it's your turn.
Okay, Ansel is going to... Well, first the shade is going to go over here. And then Ansel and the shade will converge as he walks over here. And as he walks, he holds up his hands and his nails start to grow until he has foot-long claws sticking out of his hands, and he's going to swing one of these at the cultist. 25 on his touch, bearing in mind his -2 to AC.
That is a hit.
So let me just work out. His claw does 12 points of damage as he just jams it into the chest of this guy.
Oh my word! And as you're walking forward, like it's like all composure just leaves the man, and like as you're walking forward, he puts his hand up and goes, "No, wait!" And then you just destroy him and kill him immediately. How do you do so?
So as he puts one hand up, one of Vansel's hands swings up and chops off his hand, and then the other one jams into his chest.
And he just collapses.
As the shade jumps onto his shadow and just starts tearing at that as well.
Oh my word! That's so cool. New ability unlocked. Oh my god, the brutality is insane. The rogue next to you just like looks like he's about to faint. He is down. This one is down. So only one cultist remains, and it's the one that got hit with the negative levels, meaning he hasn't really got much up his sleeve. He's gonna move forward.
Brave move.
5 foot step. Because he like screeched coward at you, and then like you just robbed him of his power and his experience. But he still can cast some spells, his lowest level spells, and he holds up a hand. Please make a will save, please, Bogram.
Fucking Roll20 hates me today. Roll20 hates me today.
A sickening barrage of colour just completely blinds you for a moment as colour spray hits you. You're over 5 hit die, which means you are only stunned for a round, but stunned you are as you fail to save.
Oh, actually, that means 12, 13, 4, that would have been 14 in that case, because it would have been against stunning, which...
Oh, okay.
I don't know, that would have made it...
I'm not sure if negative levels would affect his ability modifier. Let's find out. It's taken -3. I'm going to say it has. Because that's more than 2. I think he would have dropped down 1 ability level, maybe. I'm going to say you're fine for that. If negative levels do, it would mean he dropped down. Depends on what level he is, actually. So level. Yes, because that would take him from... He's level 6, that would take him to level 3. He would lose an ability modifier. He would have put that on his spell casting. So he absolutely... You would absolutely pass that save. So you pass, and you are not stunned.
Nice.
Thanks for my little bonus against stunning.
Yeah, there we go.
Nice, very nice.
So you resist, in that case. What is it like as you resist that power, Obsidian?
I think he's just staring him down. Absolute rage in his eyes that he dared attack his kid. Like, this guy's in deep trouble.
And now, Vernon will spend his turn running to the edge of the conflict. He's going to rush to hide behind the fountain here. He rushes to this corner here and watches over the edge of the edge of the fountain as he watches you, Obsidian, approach as it is your turn, facing off against the cultist.
Okay, so first things first, 5 foot step, and I will activate as a free action my fear aura, can he please do a it's will, isn't it? The fear aura.
Yes, yeah,
It's
yeah,
DC
so
20. I haven't written down DC 20.
Oh my word, that is easily a
I'm
fail.
stupid.
An easy fail for him.
Okay, so he is now shaken as well as his negative levels. Which Dom, you know what shaken does? I can't.
-2.
Shaken is -2 to attack,
Shaken,
saves,
-2
and
on
checks.
Yep. Yep, gotcha. Yep.
I had it open, I didn't realise. So that was all a free action, and then because I'm right next to him, I'm going to have to do a concentration to cast the next spell.
Yeah, roll it up.
But that's okay. What's the DC for casting spells again on concentration? It's 15 plus the spell level, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. We'll say that.
Is that
sure.
right?
I think so.
That sounds right.
I think that's right. But it's a level 4 spell, so I need to get a 19.
That would be
Which I
fine
do.
anyway, I'm
So
pretty sure.
I can
yeah.
cast defensively. So once again, can he please do a will save DC 22?
Oh no, it's a 1
He's
on
at
the die.
-2 to save.
It's a 1 on the die.
Bless him.
His fate is sealed. What happens?
Amazing. Well, he also needs to then do a fortitude save, DC
God.
22.
What have you done to him?
That is also a failure. That is a failure.
Okay, beautiful. The initial thing is he looks at me and he just sees my normal figure. I have no mask or anything, but the mask just appears on my face, the Plague Doctor mask, but it's kind of in like glowing green spectral form. And the hat and everything, and he just sees Obsidian, and I step towards him, and the fire kind of rages, and this image just grows and grows in his mind and scares him absolutely to death, and his heart gives out.
Oh! And he just stops. He just stops mid breath and just collapses onto the ground, ghostly white.
Everyone else just saw me walk towards him, and he died.
Yeah.
I didn't even touch him.
Your son looks over the
I didn't touch
that
him.
fountain with like horror in his eyes, but obviously he doesn't really know what happened. We are back to the top of the round. Silaster, the rogue that's there on his own, looks pretty abashed, pretty sheepish right now. Looks like they won't be sticking around. With that knowledge, what do you do?
5, 10, 15, 20. As I'm running around, 2 shadow blades cut across both my hands as I go for an obscuring shadow veil. Possibly a fumble. Oh dear.
Oh, God.
You slice off your toe.
Yeah, got cocky, didn't you?
Yeah.
Immediately followed by a follow.
Decapitating us. Oh my God!
So,
He critical himself.
Thankfully, that,
Your own head comes off.
Thankfully, that
Dude.
is just a miss.
I just go right in.
Dude, that's a shame.
But it's almost like you feel the connection to the chain once again as you swing, and the tides of fate shift for a moment, but then nothing happens because it's not a fumble. But you miss him, and the rogue looks beyond abashed at this, and will attempt to make his way should he survive. And so is your turn.
Isn't the rogue before me?
Oh, I'm so sorry. You're very kind. Yep. We'll rush.
Yeah.
5,
Regrettably.
10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. Just pegs it away.
Is he just withdrawing?
Yeah, just withdrawing, I'm afraid. So otherwise, it would prevent attack opportunity. But sadly not. So bye, bye.
Okay. Not to worry.
That is his turn. Ansel.
You can charge up to double your speed, can't you?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Then I shall charge double my speed.
Yes.
And technically, the shade can
survivor.
move as I can,
Yeah.
so can also come with me.
The shade falls upon him.
And I'll try and chase him down.
Okay.
So on his touch again, it's 8, I believe.
Yep.
And he's minus that. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
26
it's a very
on his
palpable,
touch.
very palpable hit.
Gotta remember that one. It's very important. 20 points of damage as Ansel just like fucking runs, just slashes the back of the rogue because he's running away.
And immediately kills him. What is it like?
I think he just like opens him from like neck to ass with a slash. It's like his nails are
Give him an ass.
like the description of his eldritch claws are that they are a foot long. Like they're literally as deep as a person. Pretty much, if he gets a good slash, he can go pretty much all the way through a
Wolverine
person.
him, basically.
And that's what happens.
My word.
Yeah, he's in bits.
He's in bits.
Falls in half. He runs in 2 different directions for a sec.
And it is as.
And I like to think that the shade is doing the exact mirror move as him, so they're like back to back and both with one hand reaching out together.
As you do that, then there is a quiet as the street has basically like evacuated throughout the course of the battle, and there is a very palpable tension in the air. People are watching from the windows of the taverns and the workshops. But none watch with more horror in their eyes than that of your son, Bogram.
I didn't do anything. I never touched the guy.
Yeah, you didn't. That's exactly what is going through his mind right now. You didn't touch the guy, yet the look on that man's face was if he had seen death itself. And I think that.
Yeah. So maybe in future, son, you should watch the lip.
What the fuck?
Don't say that. Definitely don't say that. Jeez.
As he looks on in horror at you, Ansel, you sort of like are looking down at the remains of your quarry, and then you hear a voice at your side as Cry speaks in your ear and says, at midnight, it will be here once again, Ansel.
At midnight, they will be here once again, was it?
At midnight, it will come once again.
It will come once again. Oh.
And you suddenly recognise that today is the 14th, so at midnight tonight, it shall be the 15th. the very day that you have designed to infiltrate the castle
Oh,
and
shit.
indeed conduct your business. The Crescent, the Sickle Moons will be with you once again, and I think that is an ideal place for us to leave it tonight. I really enjoyed that once we got into the flow. Thank you ever so much to my wonderful players as ever, and for those wonderful viewers as well for tolerating the hiccups. We're looking into it. Before we depart, let's go with a parting words from each of our wonderful players. Let's start with Mike. Any parting thoughts on anything at all? Abilities, story, character, anything at all before we sign off?
Well, his thoughts are in the castle, but a part of him is now thinking that it's how brash in the middle of the day with an audience. Why make such a scene? So that's going through his head.
Very good point. Bogram, or Matt, final thoughts at the end of the game?
I suppose at some point I was thinking maybe it might be that his son will see him do something badass and think he's kind of cool, but actually the type of thing that he does just horrifies people. So I don't know whether it's worked out that way, but maybe I still hold out hope. But yeah, I think the same thing, like a daytime attack. It's also drawn attention to us, which we really didn't need given what we're doing tomorrow. So yeah,
Tricky.
let's see what's going to happen.
And finally, Ansel, Dom, final thoughts before we sign off today?
Yeah, it's definitely interesting that they'd attack us in a public place. But Ansel, as ever, the day before a sickle moon is the adrenaline is going, the worry, the excitement of what a sickle moon will bring for him is always foremost in his thoughts.
And in ours too. What will we learn? Lots of things happen on a sickle moon these days. We'll find out next time. So once again, for those watching, for those who did watch the first half live, thank you ever so much for dropping by. For those watching after the fact, if you like it, give it a like. If you'd like to see more like it, then go and subscribe. And all that's left for us to say is roll them bones. Take it easy.
Thank you, Rob.
Vince